Hey guys, it's Talart here, and welcome to episode 2 of my Webtoon creation series. Woohoo! I can't believe that I actually made it to episode 2, guys. We made it so far. In today's episode, I will be doing finalizing my character designs and talking about the writing process very briefly at the end. Episode 3 will be mostly about writing, so look forward to that. But today I'm just going to be finalizing all the character designs that I did in the last episode and basically making a character sheet that I will use for my webtoon. I reference a lot from my own character descriptions, and I also reference from Pinterest for outfit styles and stuff like that. Mostly for the female character too, because to be honest, I struggled with the female character for a really long time because I just didn't know what I wanted her to wear. And I feel like clothing makes a big impact on the character's personality and kind of what the reader sees and what they think about the character. So I was like, okay, gotta think about this for a really long time. Like, what kind of style do I want her to have? And I want it to match kind of her background and her personality at the same time. And also my male character was kind of easy because I just draw guys all the time, so it didn't really it wasn't even that hard. But that's besides the point. What I want to do today is help you guys if you're struggling with creating character designs. So the whole time while I was creating my character designs, I was just thinking I want this character to be fun to draw without too much detail. And you're going to notice that in this one, the final character looks a lot different than in my previous video. And that was because I had to tweak the story as well as basically change my character's whole personality, which ended up resulting in a change in his hair and his outfit and stuff like that. And a lot of people have been asking me what my story is about, what is it called. But as we go along this series, guys, you will find out everything you need to know. But for now, I'm not going to reveal too much, so the character design will kind of give you guys hints, but probably when I do the story writing episode, you'll know what my story is about because I'm basically going to explain it. In terms of making the character design, I realized a really good method in creating character design is either adding no detail to your character and then slowly building on it, or adding too much detail to your character and slowly removing it. So in the last episode, what I did was I added too much detail, and then after that, as I continued drawing the character, I removed details slowly by removing accessories, removing random things that I probably wouldn't want to draw again, and this actually made it easier for me to redraw my character over and over. And one thing I noticed as I was doing this was what kind of body type do I want this character to have, and what does his personality match his body type? Does it match his face, his hair, and all that kind of stuff? So I really kept referencing back to my personality sheet. So it's very important to basically make your character's personality before you start designing them, because you don't want to get confused. Maybe the character is really sloppy and you accidentally draw him to be really neat looking, and it's oh, okay, he doesn't look like his personality. If you want that to happen, then that's pretty good, but if you don't want it to happen, then it's not good. So it wasn't good for me. But that's besides the point. So as I was creating this, I was like, okay, in my last episode, I really liked his outfit, but there was just too much detail for me to redraw over and over. So I slowly removed things, details on his face, and I wanted his hair to be easier to draw as well. So I made his hair simpler, and I think I changed his shoes or something. I don't really remember. But yeah, so that was basically it with him. And then I wanted to practice creating his whole face over and over, and I think that's really, really helpful when you're creating a character sheet. It's just so helpful. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but for me, I thought it would be helpful because I wanted to use it as a reference while I'm drawing later on. And if I'm oh shoot, I don't know how he would look from the side, I could just go back and look at my sheet, and then I'm oh yeah, that's how he looks from the side. Because, we're not geniuses. We're not going to have it all memorized super easy peasy, But yeah, it just took me forever to do this, to be honest. I think it took me a couple of days to finish this one character, and then a couple of days to finish the girl character too. Man, that was so annoying, guys. I think like the whole thing about this is just perseverance and patience. You really need a lot of both of those to do this. I don't even know. I saw like so many different types of character sheets, guys. I really recommend, if you're going to make a character sheet, look at all the different kinds and see what will be suitable for you in the long run. I noticed I didn't need a character sheet that showed the character's body at different angles or different positions, because I'm going to be changing my character's outfits all the time. So I focused more on the character's face and expressions on the character sheet, because I was like, okay, well, I'm going to change their clothes. Literally, I know me, I'm going to change their clothes. So I mostly focused on recreating his face 3 times, and if I liked how it looked, then that's it for that character. And then on my female character sheet, I just wanted like base colors, draw her face a couple of times, and that's it. If you're needing, like, if they have a really unique body type that you know that you won't be able to recreate later on, it's a lot better to create a character sheet where you are drawing them at different angles so that you can keep that body type consistent. And I know some styles really focus on that, which is really cool and really awesome, but I can't do that because I'm not good enough. Anyway, dude, I literally get off track so easily. Even if I have a script, and I don't like having a script, so obviously I don't have one right now. But anyway, that's besides the point. Back to my character sheets. So yeah, there are many different types of character sheets. If you guys are wondering what my paper dimension is, it's literally printer paper size. I really like that because it's just easier. It feels like I'm drawing in real life on paper, and I don't really like canvases that are too big, and I don't like canvases that are too small. So this one is 8.5 by 11 inches. Like, I didn't put pixels or whatever, and it's 350 dpi, I think. So that's my usual. I'll put it in the description. But yeah, okay, so anyway, while I'm creating this character, like, the thing for me was drawing this character at different angles. It literally looks like different styles. So as I was drawing his face, looking to the left a little bit, I was like, dude, this does not even look like him. Like, his eyes are completely different. So probably after this video, I'm just going to try drawing them in my sketchbook a couple of times to see if I can keep it looking the same at different angles, draw them in different outfits, poses, stuff like that, so that when I go do my webtoon, it will be easier because I'm so used to drawing my characters that it just becomes easy. Like, you know, my hand's like, yeah, I know how to draw your dude, and I draw him in like 2 seconds. Which reminds me, thanks to my butt head, but my story has like 5 main characters, and I was like, oh my god, why did I do that? Because now I have to friggin' draw like 6 character sheets or something. Wait, let me think. I think I have to draw, 6. I have to draw 6 character sheets. Oh man. So I don't even know. I don't have recommendations or any tips for you guys at this point. I guess like we're learning together, so this is just me suffering, and hopefully you guys won't suffer and learn from my mistakes. I definitely recommend that you only have like 2 or 3 main characters for your first webtoon, because you don't want to get a heart attack drawing 50 million character sheets, you know? Oh shoot, guys, like, I just realized like a huge tip. It's references. You need to stock up on those references. As I was creating this character sheet, I used a lot of references, mostly because of clothing. I really wanted to get the clothing right for my characters, so I just piled up. I literally made like a file on Pinterest where it's just all clothing, because I know that, as I mentioned earlier, I really want to change the clothes for my characters. I love drawing different styles and stuff, so I knew I was going to be changing it a lot, and I was like, oh my gosh, then if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to stock up on some fashion images. So that's what I did prior to actually making the character sheets. So for you guys, I definitely recommend you do that as well. Save poses. Save as many poses as you can, because you don't know what poses you're going to need in the long run, what angles you're going to need. So anything unique or dynamic, or even just basic standing, get as many as you can, because you're going to need them, trust me. I know, I didn't think I would need that many. I was like, I'll just Google it as I go. But you're gonna waste so much time searching for poses. So before you even start drawing at all, make sure you save as many poses as possible. Or if you're already really good at it, you don't need to, but it's really useful to have. So I noticed as I was drawing the girl character, I really struggled with it. And I'm actually gonna keep that part in because it's really important, I think, for you guys to see that not everything comes easy, and you might have to redraw over and over and over. And it just, like, I just want to show you guys, it actually took me a couple of hours till I finally decided on what kind of pose I wanted the girl character to be doing and what kind of clothes I wanted her to wear. And I think another really good tip is that while you're working on your webtoon or any drawing in general, know your limits and know when you need to take a break. And when I say know your limits, I just mean like know when you're tired, because sometimes when you're sitting and drawing, you don't feel it. Like you don't feel as tired as, for example, someone who went jogging or someone who exercises. So if you feel like you're not really getting anywhere and you just keep drawing and redrawing and redrawing and redrawing, then that means that you probably need to take a break. So when I noticed that I just kept drawing this girl over and over and over in different clothing, different poses, and I just didn't like any of them, I knew that it was just my time to take a break and I should come back to it later with fresh eyes and a fresh mind, which ended up working really well. So I literally just stopped. I stopped drawing. I went and watched some shows. I ate some food. I just calmed down. And I think like a day later I came back and I tried again, and I finally was able to get what I wanted to do. I was able to choose a pose, choose clothing, and the drawing ended up the way I wanted it to. So that was really good. So when you guys are doing this, it is all about patience and like, you know, practice and stuff like that. But there's also a thing where it's like you need to know yourself and you need to know when to stop drawing, because literally if you keep going, you're gonna regret it. Sometimes I just keep going and then 5 hours later I come back and I'm like, why did I draw this? Like, this is just garbo and I need to throw it away, you know? So make sure you guys know, if you can't get the drawing right the way you want to, take a break. Like literally just take a whole day and then come back to it another day and try and finish it or try and do it over. So that's what happened with this one. And yeah, as I said, I'm just gonna keep it in. You guys can see me struggle through it. And I think it took me a couple of days till I did it, actually, because like the first 2 days I was still trying, and then I took a break and then I went and back to it and I liked it a little bit better. So it's really good. I'm really happy with it now. Usually what happens is I draw the girl character and I just never like it and I never want to redraw her again. Like literally, it sounds so weird. It's like it's my own character and I don't even like my own character, you know? So, and maybe it's because I never create characters and that's why, but I'm gonna be creating characters now, so I better keep going. But yeah, so if you guys are having trouble with character design, I do recommend that you just either draw as little as possible on your character and slowly add to your character, or draw a million things on your character and slowly take away. So my method, what I did was take away. In the last episode, I added a bunch of stuff and then I was like, oh, I don't want this on my character and I don't want that on my character. I want to take this off of them. And as you write your story, you start to realize how you see your character in your head. So I think if I were to summarize my whole experience drawing the character sheets and going through the whole character design process, I think the method that worked for me the most was adding onto the character and like adding a bunch of stuff and then taking it away. And also probably having a lot of references really helps. Oh, one more thing. I think this is kind of important. As I was drawing the female character, I changed her hair last minute. I know, crazy. So when I was doing that, I was like, dude, why did I do that? And I realized that when I changed her hair, I changed it to something that was more comfortable to me, and I thought it suited the character a little bit more. I just wanted it to be really fun to draw. I think that's like my whole thing with the character designs. I didn't really care about them being unique. I just wanted them to be fun to draw. That was like my main goal. And I think drawing them over and over and over will actually help you see what you like to draw on them and what you don't like to draw, and you can tweak it before you finalize anything. So as I was drawing them, I realized that there were some things that I just didn't want to draw ever again. I was like, get me out of this mess. I don't want to do this. And that's basically the stuff that I changed. As I was drawing this character, I really liked the hair. I literally drew the whole body, and I was like, dang, I really like this, but the head does not fit the body, and I don't like that, and I don't like her outfit. And I was really sad because I knew at that moment that I had to erase the whole thing and start that whole thing over. And you could see this right now. This is actually not the final character. You're gonna see me redraw the whole thing, and it was kind of devastating. I was like, oh my god, now I have to do this again. I'm sad. I'm dead inside. So yeah, it kind of was really painful, but that's just part of it. You know, if you don't like how you drew the character, then just do it again, and hopefully the next time you'll like it again. And I think after drawing this and not liking it, that's when I took the break, and I just came back a couple hours later. The sad thing was I just really, really liked the hair, and I really didn't want to erase it. But I was like, you know what? Like, if the hair is meant to be, then I'll be able to draw it again, and I'll like the way I drew it. So, fortunately, I was able to draw it again, but it was a little bit different. So that was just sad. Also, if you guys see me cutting to like videos and stuff like that, I'm not gonna spend hours like cutting them out, because let's be real, like, I'm not thriving if I'm spending 2 years like trying to cut out every little part where I deviate from the drawing. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm too lazy. Oh, and another thing was in this character design, her eyes were so creepy, guys. I was like, oh my god, what's happening here? So I realized that just something, my brain was just dead at that point. I was like, no matter how many times I draw this, I'm gonna hate it. So what am I doing? And you guys know me, I always complain about drawing girls. It's not that girls are hard for me to draw, it's just I don't like the way I draw them, and I want to have this certain style of drawing them. So I was like, maybe I should just stop. Oh, there we go. So what I did, now I remember, okay. What I did was I stopped with the full body, and I tried to do the different angles. And that failed too, so I went back to the full drawing. It was kind of sad. It was just a really sad process. Oh my god. It was really sad now that I think about it. I low-key was like depressed the whole time. I was like, oh my god, this character is gonna be so bad, and I feel bad for all my readers and all my viewers, and they're gonna hate me because nothing is consistent. Like, literally, I think throughout this whole thing you're just gonna be like pooping on yourself. So be careful, guys. Don't poop on yourself too much. If you're doing something good or doing something right that you like what you did, tell yourself good job, seriously, or else you're gonna be sad the whole process. So when I was designing this character, I was like, yeah, I'm doing better, this is so nice, I don't suck, I'm actually pretty good. Even though I was like messing up like every 2 seconds, I just kind of tried to motivate myself by complimenting myself. So let me know if that works for you guys, if you guys compliment yourself while you're drawing or not, to keep yourself motivated. Because I just started doing that, and it actually helps me keep going, and it makes me more confident in my work. So, because I'm never confident. I always compare myself to other artists, and I try to change my style all the time and improve. And yeah, the only thing I'm not pushing myself in is backgrounds and coloring. So can someone call the police on me, because I'm not doing anything? Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, so I know the last video you guys were saying it was basically a sketch with me because I didn't really have like any tips or anything like that. I feel like this is gonna be a digital sketch with me until I actually start doing stuff on my Webtoon, like, you know, formatting the panels and writing the story and stuff like that. So I apologize for anyone who was like, what are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. That's kind of the whole point of this series. So yeah, I hope you guys like this series. The next episode will be about my writing and writing the story, and how to not hate your characters and not hate your story. And I know that sounds kind of weird, because it's like, dude, it's your own story, why do you hate it? It was just me trying to get all the things that I like in my story. I was forcing my story to basically make me happy, I guess. Like, it doesn't make sense when I say it out loud, but like, I basically tried to force my story to have everything that I like in it. And you can't really do that because then it just becomes a huge cliche or just becomes a huge mess and the story gets lost. So I was like, oh shoot, then I should just pick one main thing that I really, really like and kind of have my story build off of that. And now I don't hate my characters and I don't hate my story, so it works. So I'm going to explain that in the next episode because I think it's really helpful. Every time I watch videos of how to write a story and stuff like that, none of them help me, and it just makes me sad because it makes me think I'm a poopy writer or something. But guys, you don't even have to be a good writer, and you don't need to watch those videos because they're not going to help low-key. So I was like, dang, what if I just do whatever I want, but I just keep the characters consistent and just have fun with it. So as I was writing the story, I already had my characters in mind, and I just focused on developing the plot and then keeping the characters acting the same. Because I remember I had a bad habit of a character kind of acting out of character, basically. It was like a serious character joking around, and you're like, what the heck? I thought this character was serious. What's happening right now? So yeah, I was just like, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna change that in my story. And yeah, now I gave my characters really precise personalities, I guess, and really unique personalities to the point where you can distinguish them from one another, because it's more fun that way if they're all really different. And the whole point of my story, I just want it to be a comedy, basically. So you're gonna see and you're gonna regret it because I'm actually not that funny. Back to this, sorry guys, I really got off track, but yeah, I tried to draw her in profile view because I know myself. I know that when I draw female characters in profile view, it looks completely different than the character design. So I'm probably gonna draw her in profile view more often just so I can see like what my mistakes are. Which reminds me, guys, if you want to see updates and like you want to see sketches and stuff like that, make sure to follow me on Instagram because I like to post, if I sketch practice drawings of my characters, I like to post them on my Instagram, and that's like the easiest and fastest way to connect with me. I don't really use my other social media that much other than my Instagram. So go ahead, guys, follow my Instagram, link in the description. I'm gonna be posting so much about my webtoon and other drawings as well, so come on, guys, you need to follow me on Instagram, okay? Anyway, yeah, so I'm really satisfied with this female character for once. I think I like drew 4 female characters before I finally decided on this one, and now I realize why people online create so many OCs. I was like, why do they have so many freaking OCs? I only have like 2. But then I realized that the more they create OCs, the more they make their ideal OC for themselves. And I was like, dang, guys. So if you can, before starting your webtoon, create as many OCs as you can. So maybe you can choose from one of them, or you can get an idea for how to create characters. I think that's really good practice. I didn't even realize. I wish I knew that before, to be honest. Like, why didn't I know that? Oh my god, brain blast. Yeah, like, I'm just really disappointed in myself. The more I work on these, the more I realize there's so many things that I should have done before starting my webtoon, and stuff that I didn't do. And I wish people told me, but no one told me. No matter how many videos I watched, nobody told me. So I hope you watch this video all the way through because you're gonna regret it. I'm just kidding. That sounds so messed up. But yeah, I hope you guys watch this video all the way through because I feel like I just dropped a bunch of hints throughout this whole thing. I'm very disorganized and I'm all over the place. So hopefully this video was helpful. Alright, so here's a sneak preview of the next episode. Woohoo! So I'm just writing the story. I wrote about 2 episodes just so that I get a feel for each character's personality as I create the character sheets. I realized how important it is to create your character's personality and write it down in depth before you write the story and before you create the character sheets, because that way you know how they act in certain situations, how they how their faces look in certain situations. So it's really, really useful. As I was writing the story, I realized that I went and scrolled back up to refer to my character personality sheets. So I'd be like, oh, how would this character respond to this comment? And I would scroll up and go look at what I wrote earlier, because obviously I'm not going to memorize my characters' personalities in the span of like 3 minutes. So it was really helpful to scroll back up and see. I think I'm probably going to make a separate sheet so that I don't have to keep scrolling and I can have it on split screen. Like I could look at it and also write at the same time. So I definitely recommend that as you guys are writing. I think that's a really good first step. And don't be afraid to delete huge chunks of your story, because sometimes it's not needed and sometimes it's just not good. So as I was writing this, I noticed there was like parts where I was stuck and I just kept deleting and rewriting and deleting and rewriting. And it's not a big deal, because it isn't like, you know, drawing where if you delete it, it's like, oh my god, the last one was better, and you're kind of sad that you deleted a really good part of your drawing. In this case, you could just like Control Z to the heavens, you know, so it's okay. So that was really nice. That's why I like this. And I put it on a Google Doc so that no matter what computer I'm on, I could just, you know, open it up and I don't have to email it to myself, because that's just so annoying. One time I used to do that and had like 50 emails to myself. I was like, girl, stop. So that happened, yeah. I learned my lesson. So using Google Doc also really helps. I tried several different writing formats. I used script writing, I used novel writing and stuff like that. And they were all just too chunky for me when I was writing. When I went to draw the webtoon in the end, I realized that if I go into too much detail, it's harder for me to draw, because then I feel like I'm restricted to that. But then if I don't go into enough detail, it's hard for me to draw the panels in the end, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, what am I trying to show? So as I was writing this, I made sure to mention the place that they're in, who's saying what, and how their face looks, and just kind of the step-by-step process. So if someone drops their pencil, I write drops pencil as someone else's face looks like this, and stuff like that. So I was writing in detail, but not too much detail. And it's really hard to kind of gauge what is enough detail for you. And that's all in practice. You'll see as you write your story, you're going to see what is too much detail and what isn't. So I know that was like so vague, but you're going to see for me, like in the next episode, that writing a lot for me does not help. So, and I'm not like, you know, the best writer in the universe here. So I'm out here trying to be basic. So yeah, so I just wrote like really simply, and I just wanted it to be straightforward to the point, so when I go draw, I know what I'm drawing and how they look, and that's it, and what each panel looks like. So basically each line is its own panel. Even their location, me stating the location, is a panel all on its own, and I try to imagine it as I write it out. Like, what do I want the panels to look like? I'm going to write that down. Some people like to go into a lot of detail, saying panel blah 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 blah, panel 2 blah 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 blah, quote whatever, but that just takes so much time, and I know I'm gonna change it like every 2 seconds, so I'm just gonna keep it super simple. So if I want to delete anything, I wouldn't have any feelings towards it. It's so much easier that way, trust me. But anything with dialogue and stuff like that, I'd keep consistent. So like if I want it to be in their head, I'll put it in parentheses. If I want it to be out loud, I'll put like a colon, or I don't want to use too many quotation marks, and I just want to keep it like really to the point. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!